Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
I bet you didn't think we were going to be doing a wee podcast. And the name is What You Talking About. Can you explain a wee bit what that means?
So in Scotland, you say, what are you talking about? It means like, what are you going on about? Like, what news have you got for us today?
And most of the time, it means that you think someone's talking shit.
Yeah, if you think someone's lying or
Talking shit, aye.
say what you talking about.
Aye, so most of the time it means something quite funny, to
Yeah.
be honest. So that's why we chose the name, because actually a lot of people think our greatest skill is making music and DJing, but actually a skill that we have that we don't really show people is talking shit.
Yeah, we talk a lot of shit.
We do, and that's why we fanny about in the studio so much, because we're talking shit most of the time.
Exactly. So Gary, what are you talking about?
Oh, well, we'll be honest with the people, because I think they deserve it, but we actually already done this podcast
We did, yeah.
last week, and setting it up was a nightmare. So we thought it was going to be really easy, but that turned out to be no true. We spent about 2 hours getting the cameras right and the lighting right, and it still makes no difference. We still look big, but we recorded the full episode only to find out that the audio was completely fucked.
Yeah, it was glitching like fuck. I think we made a boo-boo on that one for sure. And it was unsalvageable. We actually got to a point where we're thinking, can we just use the camera audio?
Well, I would say that's a representation of Rebellion right there, as we've went round in circles for 5 days trying to fix camera audio.
And build up the courage to re-record the episode.
Exactly. So there was actually a lot of good topics which we will not be covering anymore because it's weird. But apart from that, it's been good. I think one of the subjects that we did talk about in the original recording was Supremacy classics, and I think it deserves probably to speak about.
I think we need to talk about that again.
Do you want to tell the people what your thoughts were and what you felt there?
I don't think I expected to attend a party and play at a party for that fact that felt like that ever again, to be honest. It really blew me away to see that vibe we experienced like 10 years ago with that kind of music was still there.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
You were surprised, or you didn't think?
I wasn't surprised, but it exceeded my expectations for sure.
I wouldn't say I was surprised.
Yeah.
I've seen it firsthand. Also, there was a couple of other events like Origins and stuff that I saw. It wasn't a surprise, but I think that was the first one I'd been to.
Yeah.
So I'd seen it on video, but when I was there, like 18,000 people. Mm-hmm. We spoke about this in the last one we recorded, but the thing that I found really impressive again was seeing everybody in sync. Mm-hmm. Because these days, what I notice is the crowd goes crazy, but there's like little pockets of craziness. So like on the left side, right side, front, whatever. Or sometimes it's the whole audience, but they're all going crazy in their own way. Like people do their own stuff now. Mm-hmm. Whereas back in the day, and then obviously Supremacy Classics, it's like 18,000 people and every hand is going the same way, like kick rolls, like shit like that. I think the moment when Yuri Warface opened up with Menace,
that was crazy.
I was like, I don't think I've seen that in the last 10 years. For sure.
Absolutely.
Or maybe not 10, 7. I'm not that old.
No, but yeah, Yuri's set was fucking...
It was good.
Incredible.
It was good. Yeah, I think...
he played a lot of songs as well that maybe fly under the radar a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then when he played a few of them, I was like, yeah, those tunes were fucking incredible.
I think that's the one thing that I was really excited, obviously, when we were thinking about our set. But the one thing that I was thinking when we were thinking about our set was, I wish we could just play more of other people, because I feel like at that time it was like a movement, especially a lot of the Gearbox tracks. Yeah,
Gearbox is like what you said, it was a movement.
Exactly.
So like us, Malice, Ruler, it was like a collective, like whereas I think like Warface, Radical was their own independent movement.
Exactly. And I did think, even standing there, like I think we've spoken about this a lot, but for me, like our classics, they were a moment in time rather than like classics,
individual like
timeless.
Hits. Yeah,
you know,
timeless hits. I think that as a collective uprising, is as a full package, is the hit, if you know what I mean. There wasn't like individual songs that have like a huge legacy to them or something, but the whole package was the point of it.
And I think the songs actually represented a change in time, like a change in the...
That you can make shit quality music and still make it to the big stages.
What was David's quote again? It's
everyone brings so much quality that we have to bring some shit as well.
We still live by that.
Yeah. I've got it tattooed on my chest.
Yeah. But yeah, and we spoke about nostalgia, and we were discussing, what do you think? You think it's nostalgia, or is it that good, or is it a moment in time? Like,
I still believe it's that good, but there is a hint of nostalgia in there as well. Obviously, like what we spoke about, the people that the 18-year-olds and stuff, and the younger generation that are going to parties right now, they're creating the same memories we created to those songs.
Exactly.
So for us to say like one's better than the other, it's not up to us to decide that.
I think that's the most difficult thing about trying to be an artist and creative constantly, is that you owe something to the people that are obviously your fans, but you also owe something to yourself. So when things are changing, or where you see something that you like that's different, you know what I mean? Like, if you just stick to your guns because you feel like you're going to disappoint people, then...
Like Rebellion with a Zag.
Exactly. No, but really, I think like people genuinely thought we were doing that just to piss people off, but we liked it.
No, it's still, I might piss a lot of people saying this, but I think it might be like my favourite type of kick ever.
I don't know about my favourite ever. I think Delete's kicks are better, but...
Yeah, true, but there's just something about Zag. And it's versatile as well. There's loads of different shapes and sizes.
Zag is like the girl, the baddie.
Yeah, the one that you know it's going to ruin your life, but you fucking go anyway.
And you tell yourself all week, you're like, nah.
I'm not gonna go for it.
I need to stay away from that. And then you see it and you're like, here we go again.
No, it's true. But yeah.
Nah, for me, like, I'm not concerned about like whether the classics are back or not, or I'm not going to get in that discussion, because I just think that it's like perspective, you know, like.
And it's not the normal anymore either. So like Supremacy Classics is like a special event. It's a big deal. It's not something that you get to see and on that level on a stage that size like every week.
Exactly.
So if that was to happen like every week, would it still have the same effect?
And if we were...
Definitely, 100%.
Nah, I think that like everything, that would be like, you would get used to it again, wouldn't you? So
that's the thing. It's like there's always something better and shinier and newer than.
I always remember back in the day, like the big thing from the audience was that they would get sick of like the sounds and the kicks really quickly. Like I always remember Regain back in the day. I think he got some shit for stuff like that, but it was like, yeah, but it's amazing. So why would you change it? And then when the scene changed, a lot of those people were like, shit,
I want the kicks back.
Exactly. So you need to be careful what you wish for, because if you want artists to be innovative, and then they can go in a direction that maybe you don't like. So,
and that's the thing with building like a dedicated fan base. Like they need to understand, and I think we've made that clear quite a lot. Like you need to join us on the ride, because we're like explorers in a way, right?
I think our problem also is that we get bored really easily. So people always say like, oh, you make melodic songs and then you make like hard songs and whatever, Zag. But the real thing is that we exert so much energy putting into like a melodic song that by the time we're finished it, we're like
sick of it.
We're like, yeah, what's the next thing?
It's like a double-ended sword, right? Like for other people, they might hear that song and go, all right, I want the next one. And for us, we're not on that same wavelength.
Nah.
We're looking for the rawest song possible. But yeah,
I think also we're
bipolar.
We're bipolar. No, but really, I think it does have something to do from like our upbringing, because where we're from, it's actually not that normal to like only be dedicated to one thing.
No, the same people that go to hardstyle parties in Scotland are at techno parties, at fucking pop events,
trance, everything.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. I think that was really alien for us in the beginning. You know, like when people came in, and the funny thing is, the like typical hardstyle people, they really believed that we were just there to go against hardstyle, but what they didn't know is we were like massive hardstyle fanboys. So that was weird trying to explain to them that actually we tried to make normal hardstyle and we're just not good enough yet. So we're just going to make
our skill set wasn't there, but we always tried. Like even like in Uprising and Empire, there was melodic songs on there, but in my opinion, they just weren't executed properly. It wasn't probably until like 2019 where we started getting a feel for those kind of songs like The Edge, Dust Till Dawn, and then I think the first real one that sounded like Rebellion and was exceptionally high quality was Never Back Down. I think that was the first one that we done really well.
Before Never Back Down.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I think the Never Back Down was a better representation of like it's sounding fresh.
Yeah.
Whereas like The Edge maybe sounded a wee bit like Future Noise or something like that.
Maybe, yeah.
So I think the first time we really executed it properly was Never Back Down.
I think COVID helped us as well.
Yeah, and the fact that it was supposed to be in the Defcon N show probably gave us a little bit of a boost.
Yeah,
but
that was a COVID.
That was the COVID. That was another boot in the balls from COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, there was many boots in the balls, but to be honest, we do have a good mentality. I think that's our strongest point, his Rebellion. I don't think it's anything to do with like music production or anything like that. I just think our mentality, like we will go to the end. And I think like many people in COVID, their first thought was like, shit, like we are fucked here. But actually we were like, okay, now we've got time to figure this out and come back.
Usually you have like a deadline you're working towards, and that can bring its own set of pressure. Whereas in COVID, we could spend 3 months working on one lead and perfect it and learn how to do it properly. And at that time, we were obviously in a proper studio for the first time, I would say. We were in the Scantrack studios.
It's true, yeah.
And we started listening to our music in there and we're like, oh shit, this sounds terrible. So yeah, we got a good feel for how things should sound.
But a lot of the... was it the first Dose tracks were made in there, and some of them were dog shit. So
yeah, they were.
We obviously couldn't hear
that good. No, the quality was actually pretty decent on them, but they were just so obscure. What was it, Bullet?
I don't think Bullet's that high quality.
2.5 minutes a metalcore song. Why does this not work on the dance floor, man?
I always remember sitting at 6 a.m. in Utrecht trying to fix the audio because the next day they had to be sent away, and
we had it was like a bug in the record, the exporting.
Something was clipping audio every time, wasn't it?
And it would actually freeze the computer every time we played the wave sample.
Yeah. At that point, I was like...
You can deal with that maybe like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but not 6 o'clock in the morning.
The worst thing was as well, we knew the song wasn't that great.
So we were like, fucking...
What's the point?
Get me to my bed, man, please.
No, we've done that a lot.
Yeah.
I think that's the worst feeling. Do you know when you know a song's like...
average.
It's not that great, but you're actually busting your balls trying to like figure it out and fix it. Like, yeah, you can't avoid those ones.
Yeah, I think that's something we've got better at though. Realizing like just because we've worked on it maybe for a couple of weeks, it's not good enough. Finishing this isn't probably. You'd be as well starting something better.
True, but I think at the same time we've witnessed like keeping on at something and it working. So it's kind of like,
well, that's probably the worst thing that's ever happened to us. I mean, for example, songs like Supremacy, we worked on that for 4 months. There's like 6 different versions of it. City Lights was also quite long. Two like 2 months, I think, during COVID.
Yeah. The funny thing about City Lights is that we wrote the melodies at roughly the same times, I think, as Future Power. And then we went to a writer's camp, and Future Power was one of the songs that we wrote with the melody. And when I compared both of them, I was like, I think Future Power has a much bigger chance of being something, that I always thought City Lights was cool. And it definitely was. I knew it was going to be a good song, but to be the level that it went to, that was something that I definitely did not see. Definitely.
Nah, I heard that when we had the melody and the vocal, I knew it could be a big one, but it had to be executed properly, and that didn't happen until maybe the last week of working on it. It sounded like good. The melody was the same, the vocals were the same, but it didn't have that flavour to it.
I think the intro and stuff made a difference.
Yeah, because it was originally just going to be 2 climaxes, 2 melodic drops.
Just going to be like Never Back Down, wasn't it?
Yeah. and we decided to kind of spice it up a bit.
And what was better, Satellites or Satellites?
Satellites, yeah. We were in the studio with D-Block and Estefan, and I was asking him, check out the transition we made in City Lights. And I watched him typing into Spotify, Satellites, and I'm like,
oh shit.
Our accent is so bad. I was like, no, City Lights.
But the funny thing is, that's not the first time that's happened.
Yeah, a few people have said that.
Yeah.
But I can understand because, obviously we're used to our accent, but when I see like a video on TikTok or YouTube of Scottish people, it's a strong fucking accent.
It's not until I have to call my parents again, and then I go out of that zone and I'm like, woofed.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I phone my mum and dad and I'm speaking like this, and they're like, why are you talking? Why are you talking like that?
Hey.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? I've actually heard that before when I've said yeah.
Yeah.
In Scotland, we didn't say yeah, we say aye. So if you say yeah, it means you're gay.
Damn.
Nah, but really, like there's certain words that we would just never use. So when you hear them,
yeah, it sounds
because we're used to them now, 'cause it's been here for 10 years. It's weird when you go back to Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Scotland, if you speak properly, you're posh.
Yeah,
So
posh.
you have money basically.
You come from money, not like us.
Not like us, we're scumbags.
We're dogs from the street, baby.
We're scumbags. One of the things we talked about before, I want to talk about it again because it was quite interesting, was that do you feel like we're going to need more bald heads to save hardstyle?
Well, I was on the route to being there, mate. I got a hair transplant last year.
You want to shout them out?
Shout out to the Crown and Breda for fucking saving my Barnet.
Are they sponsoring the video, by the way?
I fucking hope so.
If you're not sponsoring we'll cut you out, right?
If I ever need to go back, I want it for free. Nah. But yeah, to be honest, when I obviously you need to shave your head and go through the whole process. If you look at our Beyond the Horizon press pictures, you can see that fucking baldy right under that cap. But I just imagined myself being on stage and a big beamy light hitting that fucking bald head, blinding the whole audience. So I was like, nah, man, I need to wear a cap.
But did it change the way that you looked at hardstyle?
It did, mate. I was like putting in like those reverse basses, slowing it down to 150.
Yeah.
Nah, it didn't make any difference, mate. It must be something, though, right? Because all the Scantrax artists, they had bald heads. Mm-hmm. It was in the contract, right? They all walked in with a fucking long locks, and on the contract it says you must shave your head.
It worked though.
It did. Didn't work for me though.
Nah.
I was bald and sad.
It is weird that was the look back in the day.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe like, for me growing up, like the vision that I had of hardstyle was really like quite dark and aggressive, even when the music wasn't, because all the YouTube templates were like clowns,
biohazard
clowns,
signs,
yeah, and like all the DJs looked scary. But like if you meet those guys now, like they're actually the nicest guys ever. Like we spoke about like Frontliner and Randy. Like when I seen them back in the day, I was like, these guys are like football hooligans, bro. But then you meet them and they're like the nicest guys ever. Like
Frontliner's actually grew his hair back.
Yeah,
he got curly long locks.
He went reverse, didn't he?
Yeah.
Nah, I think the bald head was not the reason why the music was so good back then. I think it was because of the talent, but.
No, my experiment didn't pay off. Like well, maybe what did we make? We made Beyond the Horizon. We made the Intense Anthem.
I think Beyond the Horizon was just before it.
Was it?
We started it in January.
And that's how we struggled to finish it because I shaved my hair. No.
But do you think that was the low end for the Zags that done that to your hair?
I think making too much Zag was like the base for the speakers had been like receding my hairline. I think that's actually what happened.
The funny thing is we we always produced quite loud back in the day.
What?
But then we did start turning it down a bit, and then as soon as we started making Zaag Kicks, I think we went for 4 different subs, and I didn't feel like we were producing that loud, but that's how far we were pushing the low frequencies in the sub. I
think it's when you're designing the kicks, you're obviously like going through the frequency spectrum on the low end, and I just think most subs aren't handling sounds like Zags.
Nah.
They're so crazy, and like they're so loud. So Yeah. We busted a lot of fucking subs through that.
Yeah. The funny thing about the Zag is we heard it a long time before we actually cracked the code, because we heard it and we were like, this could be something. And then we tried it, I think, in edit for Capitals. Was it?
We tried it a couple of times. We done it in the Capital Anthem one, which I fucking hated. I thought it sounded like dog. So you quite liked it though, right?
I liked it, but that was the first time I knew this was going to be something, because we posted it and the amount of hate was whoa. And it was just like out of nowhere, and I was like, but then I know that sounds really sadistic, but for me, I always think, there must be something here, because it's evoked some emotion.
But some of the, like, if you look at, for example, like a Justin Bieber, one of the most famous people on earth, but also at the time, one of the most hated, most disliked video on YouTube is Justin Bieber Baby, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think the Zags are a little bit crazier than Justin Bieber, but the same principle.
But he was laughing to the bank though, with all that hate.
Yeah. But I do.
You make Zag, you're not laughing at the bank.
No, no. Well,
money, please.
I don't know, like. But now the moment I would say that I was like, all right, we've got something here. Was it Decibel?
That's when we done it properly.
2018 was it?
With the DLM edit. That was a proper Zag, and I think that's like kind of like the model for what Zags sound like today. I think.
I was up on the booth. And sometimes, like, on the booth, you don't really actually... It's like a weird place to stand, actually, because you're not getting the pressure from the booth monitors anymore, like where we stand. And then you're kind of too far away from the crowd to feel... So you're almost in this, like, weird land where you don't hear anything properly. But that... When that dropped, I heard the crowd, full crowd, and I was like, whoa. Yeah,
which was crazy, because, like, getting a reaction that loud was nuts. And then the aftermath.
Yeah,
there was a lot of hate. I was like, were you people there, or are you just listening from your bedroom?
I always remember as well, so we made Numb for Climax, and then there was a video posted the morning after, and a guy had videoed from the stands, and you could literally see and hear everyone going crazy, and he wrote underneath it saying, "This will never be anything."
Yeah.
And I was looking at it like, okay, one, your video actually proves that it's going to be something, and two, like, this is probably going to be one of the biggest songs of the year. So
yeah, you knew from just listening to Numb for the first time it was going to be something.
Yeah,
but yeah, it came with its own bunch of hate, but so does everything with Zag. It's just, I think people are kind of accepted it a bit more now. I don't see as much hate on it. I think people realise it's fucking here to stay, and a lot of people are doing it. I think if it's done right, obviously we've done our fair share of ones that just sound fucking ridiculous, but for example, like the ones in Zag in Paris, I think you can still dance to them and they're not too extreme. It's just a new version of it.
The original Kind Techno, I would say, as well.
Yeah, they sounded good as well.
Yeah, I think we spoke about this a lot of times, but I think also what doesn't help with Zag is when people love you for something else.
That's the thing that fucked us, I think.
Yeah, like I think if you look at like a Toza or something, he's been accepted because
he's always been that.
That is who he is, and he does it in a really fresh way. Same with like our faces and stuff. I think that people accept it because one, it's been done very good, and two, that they're like not known for anything else or before that. You know what I mean? Like they came in with that sound, whereas I feel like. Yeah, if you like the Edge or Never Back Down, it probably would have been quite scary to hear that.
Yeah, especially when you hear like ones that we've done like the bass train edit and shit, and then you compare that to like what you said, like a City Lights. People will be like, "There's no way the same producers made this."
I think the problem comes as well, like especially during Overdose, and Zag Train was basically the same thing. It was made for Bad Dose, but those tracks were made to shock people on a dance floor, and I don't think every song needs to do that. I think actually that's the problem with current hardstyle, is that maybe that's the problem. Like everybody wants 60 minutes of shocking people, but when we were making songs for a live act that was basically to do that, it was like a show.
Yeah,
of course that was our. So yeah, something like the Zag Train edit, like we know that's too far.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But that is the point of it, and I think if we were to do that, like the full set, then you'd be like, okay, chill out.
Yeah. Especially because we've done loads of other stuff that people would deem like, you know, credible. But yeah, I can understand why it can be like confusing for someone who likes a lot of our other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes my view changes on it quite a lot. When sometimes I feel like just,
It's a guilty pleasure. When all else fails, Zag. Nah.
The thing is as well, like there's so much still you could do with it, in my opinion.
Probably, yeah.
Like we discovered the slow Zag recently, and
it sounds better.
Something about it, yeah. It just
that's been a hard thing not to go full on with. To be honest with you, I keep having this devil on my shoulder. Slow it down, add a Zag.
But to be honest, we like there's quite other kicks I think that sound good slower as well.
We tried gated slow.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's also a very dangerous slope, the tempo.
Yeah.
Like if it starts going under 150, then where is it going for there?
I do feel like the speed thing though is calmed down, because I remember maybe my times are all off, but there was definitely a period when hardstyle and hardcore were just, it was like, how can we push it to get faster?
Yeah. Sometimes we were playing tracks towards the end of the set, like raw tracks at like 167 BPM. And then closing sets, you know, like with side effects, Crash the System at 220. And, you know...
Meth Lab
240. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, there's a time and place for all that stuff. But we've actually started taking a new approach to closing sets, right?
Yeah, well, I think... Again, my times are probably off, but I think it was just after COVID, what we noticed is even Euphoric guys were closing with an up-tempo track.
Everybody was. Most people still do.
Exactly, and it was... The problem is actually not the up-tempo track, because I think, like, for example, like Yuri's always done it, but I feel like he's plays different kinds of ones, you know what I mean? Like, and it's not just the same kind of edit, but I feel like for a little while, most artists were playing almost the same edit. It would be like an original song, then it pitches up, pitches down, and it's like... And then, yeah, we were like, like this is becoming a bit forced. And then we went on tour with Sub-Zero Project, and we noticed that they were closing with like Our Church after maybe like a crazy song, or sometimes even like hardcore, whatever it was. And we were like, I wonder if that's like a better approach.
Yeah. And like the epicness, like closing it off, leaving people with like a really heartfelt vibe, rather than I've just been absolutely beat up by 220 BPM.
Especially if everyone else is doing it.
Yeah. I think the time, like, obviously we executed it really well was Spotlight with City Lights. Made a little, like, orchestral version of it. That's really epic. And a setting like that, of course. Like, you couldn't do that in a club show, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's why it elevates it, because the show elements, I think that's why we done it originally with that. But I mean, we've actually been doing it at club shows as well, to be fair.
Yeah,
we do it with Numb or something.
Yeah.
But nah, I think the best time was probably, I feel like we've done it recently and it was good though.
We done it Supremacy Classics.
Oh yeah, so we did.
We Bring It On. Also the orchestral version. But that, especially because obviously we're at a raw classic party and we were playing songs from Uprising that were at that time fucking crazy. They really... that Bring It On edit really hit hard at Supremacy.
I feel like that is though a raw classic, even though it's not like
it's definitely a raw classic, but when you put it in, when you look at it alongside the other tracks that we were playing, it stands out.
And was there any surprises at the end of the track that maybe people didn't notice?
Yeah. This is so petty, but we just put a little Zaag kick at the end of the Bring It On edit.
Yeah, right.
Just one. So it's like... track ends and then all you hear is gang.
I never seen anybody talk about it. So
yeah, I don't think a lot of people would notice, but I just thought it would be so stupid.
It was funny. It was really funny.
Oh, I'm so glad Rebellion didn't play any Zaag Kicks. This is what you guys really are. But there was one.
Yeah.
There was one.
Yeah, I think that was one of the...
That's absolute shithousery at its finest.
Nah, real shithousery, we would have actually edited like something and done it.
Nah, we would never have done that, because also, like, that's not what I associate with Supremacy Classics.
Nah.
And obviously, that era holds a big place in my heart as well, and I don't want to tarnish it with your dirty Zags.
That's another misconception that many people have about us, that we just do shit to be annoying, but actually, like, when it comes to the crunch, like, we know what things represent, I feel like this anthem for Supremacy, like there was this big chat about like, oh, they're going to do it with Zaag Kicks, because at that time,
that's when we were balls deep.
It was popping off, but we were like, yeah, we know what Supremacy is. Like we went to the first ever Supremacy, and I don't think we missed one.
Nah, we never missed a Supremacy.
We've either went or played, so I think we know what it is, and we didn't think that Supremacy was about Zaag Kicks, so we were not going to do it. It wasn't about what was the best thing that could work or not work. It was like, this is what we think Supremacy should sound like. So,
but another petty thing is there is actually Zaag Kicks in the Supremacy anthem.
In the build-up,
we used a Zaag kick and made like an uplifter out of it. So when people say, "Oh, I'm so glad there's no Zag in it," there is.
Yeah. But it doesn't count, does it?
Nah. People probably you're not even going to hear it, but some of the uplifters were made from a Zaag kick.
Yeah,
sad.
That is really petty. But nah, we're not like that at all. I don't think.
Nah, it's just funny.
Yeah,
just funny.
I remember back in the day as well. It was like quite a common thing to put something funny at the end of the song.
Yeah,
I'm sure Ali Sick Mode still does it.
Yeah, Ruler and Sick Mode. They were the kings at that.
My favourite one's still the one that we done, Side Effects.
Disgusting!
Disgusting. Because the best thing was
fucking one is
when it popped off, like people would actually shout disgusting.
Yeah, disgusting. Yeah, the Scottish memes.
Yeah, that was a funny one.
Yeah.
I feel like that it's not really done that much these days.
No.
I feel like the meme tracks have actually calmed down a bit. There was a point in time where everything was a meme, but I don't feel like people are doing that much anymore.
Yeah, it's more like a kind of TikTok-y thing. It does work, of course, but I think if you want to push forward with songs that are going to leave a legacy, memes maybe aren't the answer for that.
I think there's a time and a place.
Definitely.
It's like a bootleg or a remix. Like, it's good to have them in your set, but if your full set is them, then I would say that.
Have we done it? We've never really memed it up, have we?
I think we've tried, but I don't think we're ever that good at it. Like, just we're good at putting it in things, but not good at making the tracks. Like,
we're not really that. Like, people might find this weird with the whole Zag thing, but we're not really silly people. We're quite serious producers in a way. Like, everything has a level of seriousness to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really goofy or that.
Nah.
I find it quite hard to do that, to be honest. Everything needs to be either really serious or really fucking hard.
I think we tried it with Aliens and Acid, but it still ended
up really serious in the way, yeah.
Or not, I think we always start like that.
Yeah.
I think it's because we find things funny, but I don't think when we go to do them, we find them.
Yeah.
Like feel that connection between music.
I don't really.
And funny.
I don't make the connection with music and funniness.
Nah.
Music that I listen to and appreciate is it's not really funny.
Nah.
But I can laugh at it. You know what I mean? Like if I see something in a meme track, I can find it quite funny.
We actually had the idea for someone called Ambulance, but not for me.
Yeah, they done what the hell
during COVID. But I think the same thing happened. We were like, maybe it's too stupid.
Yeah.
So when we saw that Sick Mode and Crodex had done it, we were laughing because we were like,
yeah. But they especially Ali, he's really good at it, right?
Yeah, he's a king at that.
He's a goofy guy though.
Yeah. Now we
big love.
we had loads of ideas during Overdose actually that were quite
ridiculous.
They were good concepts, but I just don't know. I think we couldn't get over it.
Yeah, a lot of it. If you want to look at it in a way, like obviously the first dose, you could say was kind of memey in a way. Like we'd done things that were really obscure at that time. For example, like with the AI voice in the track glitching out, and like even the strongest gladiators have to die. Mm-hmm. Like that was strange. No one really done stuff like that.
But it still had like a darkness to it.
Yeah, there was darkness to it, but it was like
no one was laughing at that. No one was laughing.
No. In this world, nothing is what it seems.
The only thing people were laughing at was the guy's reaction. I'm not going to name his name because he's quite upset about the
is he?
The memeing of it. Yeah, he's not happy.
He became a
meme. But I think the first Overdose was more a shock. I think at the time everyone
it was raw.
Everyone thought the scene was, or we at least, because we were as Rebellion, we were trying to legitimate our sound a little bit because we always wanted to do that. Like we always were inspired by like melodic songs or whatever. But everyone was expecting that's where we were going, and then
Yeah.
It just went.
I remember actually speaking to Ali just after we played. We went back out and partied a little bit. I was speaking to him on the VIP deck, and he said, "Bro, I thought you guys were going more melodic."
Not anymore.
Yeah.
But that was an example as well, as like you have to just take a jump,
just go for
a
it.
leap of faith, because
we were unsure about it, to be honest, because at that time that hardstyle was going back to being more serious, more melodic, hardstyle driven. Obviously D Block and SFan came back, Headhunters came back, Sub-Zero Project were popping the fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided, let's go as raw as possible.
100%. But I knew it when we listened to the set, because sorry, it was live, but when we listened to the set a bit before it, I was like, this is unbelievable. But I did say to you, like,
this could go
wrong.
Yeah.
It could, because it was just so dark and aggressive and quite shocking. Like,
especially the intro. I remember watching that intro when we got sent because obviously we made like the audio for it, and it was obviously really dark, and we sent it to the guy that was making the video for us, and he sent us it back, and I was like, holy shit, this is fucked up. Pins in the eye and spiders crawling out an eye hole. I was like,
that was the briefing we gave him, but we were expecting it still to be a bit like,
yeah, a bit tame.
But
It
it
was
dark.
That was really dark. Even and I think if you're a visitor and you're standing on the dance floor watching that with the sounds and the intro, you're thinking, fuck, something's coming.
But I don't think people would have observed it that way if we had jumped up with the Oakley glasses, though.
Oh my god, the first ever outfit we had for Overdose was it wasn't what everyone's seen, was it? We actually had these.
If I can find the photo, I'll
put it on the screen, please, because it's fucking. So we are like the week before Supremacy, the outfits are ready, and it was a different version of them. They had like they had a green armband, and it had this like picture on the front, right? That we
on the t-shirt.
On the t-shirt, but you could remove that, and you could remove the green band, and instead of the makeup, we had these giant fucking ski glasses that looked horrendous.
They looked cool, but they meant nothing. Like they didn't add. They just
Snella plangers.
Snella plangers, yeah. But they were
big Snella plangers. They weren't
ones,
the wee tiny.
But the thing that I think the discussion we had at the time is like, if you isolated them, I thought they were sick, like as glasses. But we listened to the audio and we were making the songs, and we were like,
imagine you just watch that dark intro. There's pins in eyes. There's fucking spiders crawling out. And we stand up with ski glasses on.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, and I remember we were like, right, well, both put on the outfit, and then I've got the green band on and that, and the glasses, and I'm like, you need to take a picture. You need to take a picture and show me. And you turned the phone round to show me, and I was like, nah, there's no way.
Nah,
there's no way.
But it was like, this was like 4 days out, so we were like, okay, then. And then I had actually seen kind of a version of that makeup, but without all the green and stuff. And I said, I think we need to try it. And so we done my face as the test, and I did like it, but I did think like, like makeup and stuff like that, is that maybe a bit cheesy or something?
Yeah.
But we were like, yeah, fuck it, this is it. Like,
well, it had to be, because it was like, I think we had like 3 days before the party when we were doing that, the whole makeup stuff. And to be honest, when I had it on, I was like, oh, I don't know. It
shows you how much we never thought about it as well, because I was like, you know what would be even sicker if we had contact lenses.
Yeah.
It looked like obviously the green was coming from our eyes and stuff. Great idea, brilliant. So we bought the contact lenses. Should we have tried them before Supremacy? Probably. But true Rebellion fashion, we rock up 30 minutes to the show. Where's the contact lenses? Put them in. I was like, I can't see anything. I can't see it, because they weren't just like...
Yeah, they actually covered the full pupil and shit.
Pupil, but at that point we were like, yeah, this is it. So we went up on the booth, and it was like... And the other weird thing is, I normally take 3 USBs. So the first USB goes into the...
it's like emergency loop,
the CTJ, not there. Second one goes, it's not there. And at that point, because if it happens to one USB, like it's happened before, where one USB's not worked, and then I'm like, all right, It's just either the CDJ or something, whatever. So you put the next one in a different CDJ.
Mm-hmm.
But when the second one doesn't work, that's when your brain goes, okay, there's something wrong with the actual files.
You feel the sweat dripping down your arse crack.
And I was like, because the third one I normally just like throw on at the last minute. And then the third one I put in and then the file was there.
Imagine.
So...
all that hard work. You're standing up there with face paint on and you can't play.
Face paint, you can't even see.
Then it would look ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Like, see if the set was shit, it would look ridiculous. And what made the whole makeup and contact lens thing worse is I'm blind. I need to wear contact lenses anyway. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know at the time you could put them over the top.
Yep.
So I took my contact lenses out and put the overdose ones in, and I genuinely couldn't see.
Aye.
Like, blind as fuck. So, and then we got up there, and obviously Supremacy, if you've been, you know how fucking hot it is. It's the makeup starts running into my eye, right? So I'm like halfway through the set rubbing my eye, and I'm like, mate, I need to take this fucking contact lens out, because obviously we like going up on the decks and we like going at the front. It was like, I'll fall off the decks or I'll fall into the crowd. So I took it out, and actually in the first ever overdose, we got a picture, and I'm like, that is because I didn't have a contact lens and I didn't want it to look weird.
But people think it's the Illuminati.
But people thought it was Illuminati. There was a big thread, I think. It was on like the same kind of group that protest against like parties in the Netherlands. And they were like, yeah, I knew it. All these hardstyle DJs are in the Illuminati. He's doing the all-seeing eye. I'm like, yous are fried. They need to get off the crack pipe immediately.
Aye, that was funny. The warmest though was when we done the Anthem show. That was like, we obviously we had to go the night before and rehearse the booth.
Yeah.
And they told us, oh, the booth's going to go up and then you're going to be above the crowd and stuff. And to be honest, when we done the rehearsal, I was already a bit hot and I was thinking, this is really high and you weren't really allowed to jump around. And I was like, this is going to be pretty tough. And then we got to Supremacy and we were standing at the VIP and it was
sweating.
It was so hot and it was that bad. I remember it was a daytime event. And
they had to open the windows, yeah.
So I was like, this is going to be tough, because anybody that knows science knows
hot air rises.
Heat rises. So
fire rises.
And then I remember on the rehearsal, they said to us, okay, this is how it's going to go up. We went up and they said to us, if something's went wrong, you'll know because there'll be an emergency stop. And then they showed us what it would look like. They were like, but don't worry, that's only if something's went terribly wrong. So you won't need to worry about that. So we were like, right, okay, no problem. Then we're above like 15,000 people. Bang.
The fucking brake slam. And you always know how to look at it, because we obviously have a kind of stage manager in the booth. Turn and look at him and he's panicking. So I'm like,
you can see him on the radio like bah, 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 bah.
Yeah, this is not good. So, and obviously the booth is swinging at this point, and then I start to get a bit paranoid.
Yeah.
So, and you're sweating.
Because if you die, you don't want to be dying in front of 15,000 people like falling off that. That would just be...
That would give people the ick. Can't believe he died.
do you know what's a really funny story? You remember years ago there was, I think, Army of Hardcore, and there was that girl who
climbed the stage.
And her name was Kim, and they called her Kim Kong. Yeah.
The pictures of that were wild. She just refused to come down.
I felt like Kim Kong in that moment. I was like, I ain't coming down from here.
No, we were there. But eventually it started moving again. And then they dropped us into the crowd, remember?
Yeah, and
so
it was too...
Yeah, I don't know if I liked that. It was cool. It looked cool. But, I mean, you're surrounded.
I still think that the best... like Supremacy, like stage thing was the first one they done.
The walkway.
They put the bridge over the crowd.
That was sick.
I remember it's actually, I'm going to say it's simple, but it's not simple, but you know what I mean? It's like, it was just like, wow, what the fuck? Like, I've never seen anything like that.
And they had the sparklers coming out for the, it was Minus Militia, wasn't
Minus Militia, aye. But nah, that was scary because I'm already a little bit afraid of heights. So when we were up there and we were sweating balls, and the makeup it doesn't matter, like, you know what I mean?
We actually bought the spray to like keep it on, and even that they're no
sweat in it. It's if your face is wet, then your face is wet.
Especially when it's like fucking 60 degrees up there. It must have been that, because it was ridiculous. I was like, I might pass out.
I know. And
it's not safe. Imagine the booth goes up and everyone's like, oh, they're away, bye, and then it comes back down and we're not there.
They think it was a Windows moment. That's what I mean. Like, a lot of people, they just assume that like things just go and it's just as easy as that. But
there's a lot of planning.
There is definitely a lot of shit that could go wrong if it wanted to go wrong. But shout out to Supremacy, because they always pull it off and do crazy shit.
Yeah, it was sick.
But yeah, that was our anthem show.
Yeah,
I think that was probably my favourite.
One of the highlights, huh?
My favourite overdose, I think.
Yeah, second dose.
Well, that set.
Yeah, probably. We had a lot of good ones.
I think we nailed everything.
Yeah, there was a lot of big tracks in that.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about it, we had Dash Sky Techno, the Anthem, Simulation Edit, Beyond the Beyond.
I want to say Bounce Bitch now.
No,
it was Bounce Bitch, because the first dose was this Gladiator.
No. You're thinking of the one directly after COVID. That was when we played that Bounce Bitch.
So
edit.
it was.
That's the best moment in Overdose.
That's probably my favourite set. I got them mixed up.
Yeah.
But playing the Anthem was the coolest moment, but I think that was my favourite set. Like, we had Bonkers as well.
Bonkers. Yeah. The Windows front and violence.
That one was good.
Yeah, that was the real deal. Yeah. And the opening tool, that was the best opening tool we made.
Mm-hmm.
Overdose, Ecstasy, Rest in Peace, Supremacy.
Yeah. We used that again though, didn't we, for something?
I think we made another edit that year that was fucking pish. It was so bad. And the kick didn't even sound like anything. But obviously live, because it sounds so fucking fucked up, it obviously gets a reaction. But when you listen back, it sounds like dog shit. Mm-hmm. And then we had the edit Earthquake, and we had the stretch algorithm wrong on the Zaag kick. And it was just going sounded like it was in like a washing machine.
Yeah, I think that was
the worst one.
That was the worst. Or MDMA, remember that song?
Oh, I don't.
That was so bad.
I'm sure we actually revisited that last year at some point.
I still think the concept's unbelievable, but
the concept's not bad. But yeah, I don't know. I can't see going back to that. Nah. Only forward, never back.
Yeah. And what is coming up? Is there anything cool? We're working on anything cool?
Obviously new music. Trying to obviously go back and start making like more thought out music. Because obviously last year we made a lot of music. And I think if we slow down a little bit, put a little bit more effort in, I think quality over quantity, right?
And where do you think music's going?
Where do I think it's going? Where do I want it to go, or where do I think it's going?
Both.
Honestly, I think both of them kind of align, to be honest. I feel like we've went so far with how hard music is and how funky and fucked up the kicks can get. I think the only way forward, in my opinion, is the songs are going to matter more. Like, how do people make a song that's not just for one moment, you know, like what we spoke about before with it was made to shock people, but when that shock's happened and done, that it kind of becomes a bit useless.
Yeah.
So how are people going to formulate songs that, you know, 10 years from now you play them and they're still going to pop off? I think people aren't really striving to do that anymore.
Nah. Yeah.
Maybe they are, but I just don't feel like for example, back maybe like 5 years ago, well, maybe just after COVID and just before COVID, we had a lot of music and a lot of hits. Like when you look through, like there was a lot of hits in 1 year, whereas nowadays there's obviously still hits, but I feel like we're there's not as much as previously.
Yeah. I think I do agree with you on the hits thing, but I also think that that's just a quantity thing. I think there's more. There's less people making hardstyle at the moment, which doesn't help.
I'm sure I read and you can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about this, but there's been more music last year than there ever was in hardstyle in 1 year.
Okay, I'll correct what I said. There's less talented people making but for me, like, I just feel like everyone's waiting a little bit. Like everyone's waiting to make that song, or, you know what I mean, scared to make the move. And I get it. because at the end of the day, like bookings and all that kind of stuff is important, and you don't want to, you know what I mean, go down one direction and then regret it. But at the same time, I don't think that applies to the established artists. I think it's more like, I think we've talked about this before and maybe in a podcast before, but like when we were coming through or when we were starting, we were actually deleting tracks because they sounded too much like someone. Like we spoke about, like Rawfare and Represent, the EP, and the quality was unbelievable. The tracks were well thought out. They were well supported, you know, like Diana, Detox, Warface, I'm sure, Regain, Subsonic, Adaro. They played a lot of those 2 tracks. But actually, Rawfare was just an attempt at making Warface Lefian, and Represent was an attempt at making a radical song. And I still think you can hear that if you truly go and listen to them.
Yeah.
And we had to make a decision then. We were like, okay, do we continue that and become like furniture in the scene? And just, yeah, we'll definitely get bookings, because at that point we were already attracting interest. Or do we want to be something? Do we want to make a difference to blah, blah, blah? I know it sounds cliche, but that's genuinely what we spoke about. And then from that, we made the Nuclear remix, How It Goes. And it wasn't... when you have that mentality, it's not plain sailing, because it's scary as fuck.
Because you're diving into the unknown in a way, right?
And you've got to let go of some things that are actually all right. Like, for example, so take someone who's really good, D-Block and Estefan, right? If you're an upcoming guy and you make a song and anybody says, oh, it sounds a bit like D-Block and Estefan, right? Then, of course... that's a positive, because D-Block and Estefan are unbelievable. Like, they're amazing, right? But what you've got to think about in longevity is, if that's the comment that keeps on arising, why would you know what I mean? Why would you become something? Because D-Block and Estefan are already here, or Warface, Sub-Zero Project, whoever it is, Rebellion. So it might work instantly, but over time it's going to catch up on you. And unfortunately, once you've got that name, it's very hard to shake off.
Yeah,
because people just see you as
that guy.
So when you do something original, it's very easy for someone else to come and just
take it,
because people are like, yeah, we don't look at you as a pioneer. So I think in that first early like part, that's actually the most important thing, because also you have got nothing to lose, because you know what I mean, you might get some bookings, or you might have some fans or some followers on Instagram. But as we know, like, we thought we were popular at Uprising. Actually, like, we're a lot more popular now. So if we had chose to be like at Uprising to believe that, so I think in the beginning, and all these guys coming through, like, that should really be your driving force. You should be sitting in the studio and even behind closed doors, actually remaking and trying to do something like someone else's How It Begins. But
you learn
the final product. You should be really critical and be like, you know what, do I want this to represent someone else, or do I want this to be like, wow? Because in my opinion, it doesn't matter what the sound is, doesn't matter the time period. The guys who break through always break through with the exact same kind of thing. You know,
they have their own thing.
Recently, Joe Damage, like, they came through with their own thing, and it was getting shit in the beginning, wasn't it? Like the style of kicks and stuff. But that
comes from people not understanding, because it's so different to what. And that on itself, like, obviously during Uprising, we were getting a lot of hate as well, because it didn't sound like normal things. And just because it's, like, in some cases wrong, that can be right in the biggest way possible in your career.
I think that's the hardest thing to explain to someone, because it sounds, it either sounds really cliche, because it is cliche, or it just sounds like it's easy for us to say that because we now have bookings and whatever. But at one point we were sending demos and getting no responses, and no label wanted to speak to us and stuff. So we do know what that feeling's like. And that's why you've got to have the balls to be like, you know what, I believe in this and I'm going to do this. And I just feel like maybe the problem at the moment is that mentality, like, from some of the talents, or when people are coming through. And it's not even a slide against them, because I actually think I get it. Because
the thing is, nowadays it's actually in somewhat of a positive. People are going to get bookings if they sound like the popular guys, which I've noticed. A lot of this stuff is sounding pretty similar, and because it gathers attention online, like on TikTok or whatever, a lot of people are gonna go down that route rather than the route of discovery, especially with like stuff such as, like, you know, sample packs, and there's so much tutorials. We never necessarily had that back in the day. You were forced to figure it out, and along figuring it out, you would stumble upon things that you're like, oh shit, and it, like, but if you're being shown how to do things and given stuff that's the finished product, of course it's going to sound
like it sounds.
Like it sounds. You're not going to, there's no figuring out anymore. There's no discovery. And I think that's important, especially if you're a producer. You need to be curious. You need to dive into the unknown. And along that, you'll find something, 100%.
Yeah. But that's why, I mean, it comes down to mentality. It's not talent, because obviously we have Acid Rain and we get sent loads of stuff that is very well put together, sounds pretty decent, but yeah, I can't distinguish anything from it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know, like, if it sounds like, well, I know it doesn't sound fresh, but you know what I mean? It doesn't sound like, oh, this sounds like it could be something. Or I would rather hear a track that I'm like you need to work on like technical stuff. Because
that's what I was just about to say.
You can fix that, or if maybe you don't have that skill level, like you can get someone to fix that. But I think that creativity, you're never going to be able to fix that.
I'd rather hear something that lacks a bit in quality, but I'm like, oh shit, like, yeah, this is interesting. Or like you can see where they're trying to go with it. Maybe it's not, maybe the next track that they're going to make is going to be the one, but you can hear that they're on that path of like, I'm not fucking following the normal rule book here. I'm here to fuck shit up. Because
that can be fixed. Like
exactly.
The last part can be fixed. It can like, you can, especially in this day and age, like you can definitely, like, you know what I mean, if you need your break to be better, your leads to be better, the vocal to be mixed better, like whatever the technical stuff is that you think's wrong with it, that can all quite easily be fixed now. But I think that, yeah, if the idea is not good, then or not creative, then there is actually no point.
And most of the time when you're being creative, it's usually by doing stuff that isn't by the book.
I think even if you go and listen to a lot of the, like, techno's popping off at the moment, like hard techno, but if you go and listen to a lot of the songs, and most of the songs are old anyway, they're not the highest quality.
Yeah, but they're
interesting.
They're interesting to listen to, and they're cool. And they go against like the book, you know.
And that proves that there is masses of people that just want to go and experience stuff. They don't really care about, you know what I mean, like whether you can say, yeah, but my track's technically better than, but most people don't give a fuck, to be honest. Yeah. And especially like when you're trying to break through, like once you're established and you're trying to play in the big league and you're trying to compare yourself to like the big boys and whatever scene you're in, then yeah, fair enough. I think we experienced that where we were like, okay, we're gonna,
if we want to get to that next level, we
can't play in a main stage, and then our songs are not
no low end in the kicks.
Exactly. So of course at some point that is a discussion, but in the beginning I just can't comprehend that people are even care about that. Like, for example, like when we were coming through, if someone had said like, oh yeah, it's mixed really well, you'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What do you mean it's mixed well? Like,
yeah, if that's the only comment, oh yeah, the quality is really good. But yeah, what about the song though, bro?
I know.
Like, is it interesting? So, yeah, I get what you mean. But yeah, I'd much rather hear something interesting and it lacked a little bit on the quality side.
Yeah. And I think you can't really search for that either, because like, for example, like I have this with the label, and sometimes we have discussions with Steph about this, but maybe we're not the best person to send your music to.
Probably not, no.
Because we are listening to it, like, you know what I mean? And I'm saying that in a positive way. So like, for example, like if you believe in your music, but you know what I mean, what about if you send it to me and I say nah, then do you just stop doing that?
Yeah.
Like that shouldn't be like, we never had that. We used to send our music a lot to people, and actually I would say back in the day we were probably the least supported act coming through, like apart from like our circle,
because we were probably the beginning of that generation where the quality didn't matter, whereas and a lot of probably like more professional established artists probably couldn't see past that, because that was so foreign. Like, how is this dog shit quality music popping off? Why is like stages getting closed down because there's so many people coming to see this music? It's not produced well.
And we also realised in the beginning as well, like, because when we first came through, there was this big clamour for, you would make a song, then you would try and get people to support it, and that was the way that you would come through. And then we realised, well, wait a minute, as long as we can get people to listen to it and be excited about it, actually people not playing our music is going to benefit us because promoters have no option.
Yeah, the only place you're going to see it is at our sets.
Exactly. So we were like, this could be an advantage for us. And I even remember in the beginning, like between us and Malice, like we didn't really send our music out. And Ruler back in the day, like we kind of kept it all within our circle. And even a couple of times, some bigger artists, like I think the only person people really was maybe like a Warface or Detox at the time, because we were making music together as well. But yeah, I think we were like, we should probably keep it for ourselves so we can be more exclusive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I just think that we're not in a time when that's like still a thing. You know, like, I believe that's what's probably happening in techno, for example. I think there's a lot of techno artists and they find maybe a track or an old track, whatever it is, and they try and protect it as their thing. You know what I mean? Because I watch a lot of like TikToks, obviously, because I'm brainwashed. But I watch a lot of them, and then you see the techno guys, and you can see that they're playing songs that I already know that are niche, but they're protecting them as though it's like their song. So they're posting like 10 different TikToks with playing the same song. That a good one's like the Activator one. This is Sparta. And I'm seeing people react to that like that's brand new.
Yeah.
But I used to listen to that song when I was like, I don't know, 17, 18 or something. So yeah, I think that's actually happening at the moment in techno. Like people are protecting their music rather than like everyone listen to it or everyone play it.
Yeah.
And yeah, probably that would be a piece of advice I would give to people as well. Try and like, you know what I mean? Keep it for yourself.
Yeah. Like what you said, it's exclusive, right? Like if the only place you're going to get to see these songs are like at your set, it's going to pump up the booking, pump up the cash.
What do you think was bigger, our exclusive or my head at exclusive?
Gary was 100 kilos at exclusive.
99.
99.
I was on a sick bulk. And,
I didn't notice it at the time, but when I seen a photo of you after it looked like someone had inflated you with a pump, bro.
It was madness. Like I had this like I had been cutting before that for a while and got pretty shredded, and then I was like, okay, I've seen the limits of how shredded I can get. Like I wonder how much I can bulk to, because I'm actually like quite I'm not a big eater, so I find it difficult to put on like a lot of weight. But yeah, exclusive, I was 99 kilograms. I think it was the week before or 2 weeks before we had to play at Hardwave. And I was telling you this yesterday. I bent over to put the USBs in, and normally obviously I go down on my knees so people don't see me. But I could feel my cargos and they were about to burst. Like the threads were just...
All you hear is...
So I just thought, fuck it, I'm not bending over. So I just stood up and put the USB in. Like, I can't remember who was playing, but they must have been thinking like, what the fuck, you just trying to steal my show. And I just put it in, and then I always remember as well, like, there was no place to like stand behind, and you were like crouched underneath the booth ready to stand up, and I was just standing back at the thing. I was like, I can't. I was like, my trousers are about to burst. Like, I actually can't do it.
Performing with a big rip in your pants is not great, is it?
No.
I suppose your arse would be at the back, so only the camera people would see it, but imagine that, like the end of the set picture, everyone's their hands up and you can just see your arse cheeks.
My arse. And that's actually when we were designing the second dose outfits, we'd done the jeans for the second dose, wasn't it? It was jeans.
The jeans for the first one as well. And the second.
That was a struggle, trying to put them on for that exclusive show.
That's the thing you need to keep in, because that outfit's to do you the whole year. And if you're going up in weight...
It shouldn't be, but it was.
It shouldn't be, but it was, yeah. You fucking stunk. You don't want to... Because obviously you need to be careful with washing it, because it has all these designs, stuff glued to it. And by the end, it just was non-hygienic, I think.
The final one was actually the most comfortable, because it was like nylon.
It was like a tracksuit almost, right?
That was the most comfortable, but it was pretty hot, like... Yeah, I don't think that if people had... Like, sometimes we would go to get photos and I would feel sorry for people. I'd be like, whoa, oh, you don't want this.
Yeah, you're all sweaty and disgusting.
You don't want... Actually, when we done the bad dose with Sub-Zero Project, we went down the front and, like, obviously, like, there was people taking photos, and most of the time people just try to be nice, you know, like, they'll say, like, nice things to you because they're trying to be nice, but you know that sometimes they're not thinking that. and a guy said to me, "Oh, you smell great." I was like, "Okay, bro, I know you're a big fan, but you don't need to lie to me. I smell I smell like shit right now."
If I was to put my hands up right now, you would drop dead.
Exactly. Like, let's not patronise me, please.
Nah. But speaking of that, when I put that Bad Dose outfit on, the pants were tight.
Were they?
Mm-hmm. But maybe no ripping tight.
No tight now.
Nah, no tight now.
Nah.
We on that diet, baby.
Yeah. Nah, I think, I don't know. Are we going to put it on again? I don't know. I don't actually know if we are.
I would assume so. At some point, I mean, when you create something that good, there will be a time and a place for it eventually.
We do have thoughts of something new. I'm not going to say that it's imminent because it's not imminent, but we have a cool concept, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is not Overdose, obviously, but I think it could potentially have the same level of concept detail.
Yeah.
Like, we spoke about Beyond the Horizon in the last one. I wish we'd had the recording because it was actually a good one, but we were talking about basically that the expectation of Beyond the Horizon was it was going to be a live act. But actually, it was really just an album showcase.
Yeah, like it was more like a performance rather than the typical live act. We didn't really, I don't even think we made any live edits. It was just songs.
Lights Off?
Yeah, I suppose.
By the way, Raymond doesn't like Lights Off. But
I fucking hate it.
It's sick as hell. I think it's such a good edit.
I just think it ruins the vibe of what's going on with City Lights, to be honest.
If we had done it in the first couple of years, it's 100. I told you that at the time.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have touched that, but because we'd already like.
Yeah, but I think it's no adding anything to, like, it's just its own thing. Like, it's almost like a new song's been quickly mixed in. I do think we could make an edit of City Lights, but it would need to be more in line with the original feeling in a way.
We tried a million times.
Yeah, but some songs just maybe
I think the edit's really good. I actually do like it.
It's alright on its own, but I think I would much rather just play the full original City Lights. I think it adds much more to a performance.
Maybe.
Like when we actually mistakenly played it last week.
No, we played the cut.
No, we played the full one.
Did we?
Mm-hmm.
At what festival?
It was after Supremacy Classics at Energy, and we maybe had a few drinks, so I don't know if you remember. But anyway, yeah, but when we were playing that, like even the second break with the like with everyone with their hands in there, I think it still does the business. And I think because obviously we've not played that full version in a long while. And I think, yeah.
Do you think those City Lights is like our Year of Summer now, though? It's a bit like people are like, meh.
Yeah, maybe. Sometimes I feel, sometimes when we play Vendetta, I love that, but we don't play it as often, obviously. I think we obviously play City Lights every set, but sometimes we'll maybe...
Do you know what I think the problem was with City Lights, and I kind of knew this even when it was popular, is that obviously the intro happens that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's got the break again, and then it's got the build up, and then it has the 8-bar thing that basically does the same thing as the intro. Yeah. I always knew that would be a problem because when you've heard that song so many times, it's like that energy is going like up and down. So I think even without the edit, I think the cut version where you get to hear everything basically without hearing it repeated,
true,
is still the best.
But I think
still better.
Yeah, to play definitely, but as a song, I think that makes much more sense.
Yeah,
like that's what I was talking about earlier. Like, if you're going to think about those type of songs only in that setting that you're talking about, like having to play it, are you going to lose a lot of the characteristics that make it a memorable song?
That's true.
So
no, we have that quite a lot, don't we? Like we fall out with our song and then we bring it back.
Yeah,
we bring it back later on.
Yeah, but like, what we were saying, we
actually played Lucid Dreams a lot last year. Like probably more than the year we actually made it. Which I still think that like the
climax and the melody and the break is unreal.
So good. I think we spoiled the song with intro, which we also knew.
We actually always said we'd edit it, but we never actually got around to doing it. We tried. We actually started it last year, but I wasn't. I can't remember how
I don't
it sounded.
think it even needs it. I just think it just play the main part.
Yeah, you just play the cut part. But yeah, Lucid Dreams is still pretty sick, to be honest.
Nah, definitely. But yeah, so there might be something in the pipeline for later in the year. That I think would be more, I'm not going to say like Overdose because people are going to think it's going to be like actually like Overdose, but we mean more like an actual conceptual live act that's like moving in one direction rather than
a bit of everything.
I think, I did enjoy doing Beyond the Horizon like that, but I did feel like
it's a lot more work. And not in the sense of like, oh, it's too much work, I can't, like, you know what I mean? But it's your mind has to be able to fluctuate between different things, whereas with Overdose, the main objective was how can we create something crazy and catch people off guard and have these show moments that are a bit fucked up, but the main focus is just raw, hard to sell music.
I think though the moment that I knew there was a big difference was when we done Overdose. We actually used to have this thing where a couple of times we done 45 minutes and we realised that extra 50 minutes, it was tough to keep the audience engaged. And then when we spoke about Beyond the Horizon, we actually
it was too short.
We spoke to our management and we were like, yeah, maybe we should only do it as 30. And a lot of parties nowadays, they don't really like just doing that. So we were like, okay, we'll do 45. And then eventually we were like, 45 is not enough. Because we're not making music to just quickly chop between. Like a lot of these songs, they need
Our
like
songs.
3 minutes.
3.5 minutes.
To feel them. So that's when I was like, this is not the same. It's clearly there is a big difference between that because we're not just trying to keep people. So to be honest, in conclusion, I think that Beyond the Horizon would have been like a Rebellion set. You know what I mean?
Just
more than a live act.
Yeah, definitely. A more like kind of pumped up version. But yeah, it wasn't necessarily a live act in the way Overdose was.
Nah.
Or Revolution.
And we maybe we'll bring that back this year.
What, the Christmas tree jackets? Fucking...
I've still got them upstairs.
You never know. Revolution 2026, baby.
Yeah. We could. We were laughing at this also. Like we went to the D Block and Estefan night, and obviously they done like from the beginning till the end of their music, and it all feels like a D Block and Estefan night, you know, because it is. You're hearing their music, and then we were there and we were like, we could do this and make it feel like there was a lineup.
Yeah, a different artist on every.
Because if we were to do like Uprising and then we were to do like the middle part and then all the overdoses and then what we do now and Zaag Kicks, people would be like, this is like a full lineup.
Yeah. Versatile.
But not
or like
versatile.
a Swiss Army knife, loads of purposes and loads of moving parts.
None of it really works.
It works to some degree. But yeah. It's probably a strength though, right? In a way. It's a blessing and a curse.
That clinic in Breda's not saying that.
I'll need to go for round 2 if we need to change our sound one more time. Like,
but nah, like obviously we'll wrap it up soon, but we'll maybe speak a wee bit about going forward because I think obviously it's not a one-off thing. Like we want to do this consistently and mostly to just talk shite. So it's not about like getting people on and hearing their life stories. Like if they want to talk about that, then obviously we will. But
it's just talking shite.
It's more like talking shite and maybe hearing stuff that you normally wouldn't hear when it's like an interview setting. So
yeah,
we do actually have the next guest. I'm not going to say his name right now, but he is
the king of talking shite.
He talks a lot of shit. I think the next episode might be about 6 to 7 hours. So
yeah, could be.
We'll not spoil it because maybe people have already guessed it, but maybe in the comments you can tell us who is the biggest shit talker.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be someone who actually makes fun of people. It's just who
talks and talks.
I think every single person is gonna say our next guest, but I love him and I like listening to him.
I like listening to him as well.
I think he's got some interesting points. 50% shit, but the other 50% I think he does talk some sense. So I think for the next episode it's going to be quite interesting to
I'm actually looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I think it'll be an interesting conversation, and like you say, we'll probably just end up talking shit.
Yeah,
and we have a lot of
shit
to talk about with this guy. So yeah,
right, thanks everyone for joining us in our first episode, and
I hope you understood us most of the episode.
If not, we don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you're gonna need to brush up on your skills because we're not paying someone to subtitle the video. Fuck off.
If you use the auto-generated as well, it's not even worth it.
Yeah, auto-generated on YouTube doesn't work. So good luck.
Okay, people, see you next time.
Thank you. Bye bye.